I think yes.
Under
Okay.
the tree. Oh, under the tree. Carl Melenduni. As you go under the tree. Folks, we here under the tree live in the mix. Carl, how you go?
All right, yeah.
Mel, what would you?
I'm here.
That's all you just hear. What I
Yeah,
mean? What I mean?
enjoying February. This is our pre-Valentine show, isn't it?
It is our pre-writing time show, but none of us is lovers. Carl, what would you?
No, I don't
You,
love it. No.
you're a lover. And Mel, you's a lover.
You know what I say last week, right?
Yeah, you say you love me.
Everything about me is love.
Everything but me. Well,
Everything about me.
well, I want three women. If I could get
Well,
ourselves based on two women, I want two women. And if I could get two women, I could be a good man for Valentine. Right? Carl, what you say? I need it.
You want
Don't mix it up.
three women, and all, you gotta get all them gifts. You gotta get all them gifts. You gotta get all them. You gotta pay for all them. So if you want three women, that's on you.
That's on me.
Yeah,
But
that's
they
on
say
no,
you.
that's go on, man.
Tony say he is the gift.
Yeah. You know,
No.
you have to say these things. Black of the berry, sweet of the juice. That's Tony. The color I am and black. I got a good berry. It's a nice sweet like juice. Anyway, you got something to say to that? Mel, you got something to say to that?
I have nothing to say.
All right, then. Let me
Just
clean
want to
house before.
welcome our viewers.
Oh,
We
welcome.
have,
Let me clean house.
yeah,
Go ahead. You got viewers already?
already.
Who you have?
Don't see any names as yet. They would have to say in the chat so we can know
Okay.
who
All
is
right.
with us
We know we got
live.
views. But Kyle, listen to this. Uh, I have to say this before I go. Last week we had, guess who we had on the show waiting on you, Kyle?
Oh,
Auntie Carol.
okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I saw her watching
Yeah.
before.
But listen to this. I got to say hello to Auntie Carol. Let me give you a story. Let me give you a story about Auntie Carol. When I was going to this, she's the one I used to talk to all the time. So I got to give her props. So, so I got to give her my little two 5 cents. You got to give her a little 5 cents. She was there for me, and I appreciate that. And I just want to know, I let her know I love her and I appreciate her. I'd let her know there. Now, there's a couple of things I got to do before we start this two woman, whatever else. Why a man can't have two women. Um, Somebody say, how do you kiss? People's ask me what kind of this, but I gotta, you know, I say, Mel calls this. Mel tell the people anything we want to discuss, tell me, tell us, and we discuss it. So Mel have me in the hot seat, but Mel ain't gonna discuss nothing. She throw everything on me.
Kyle could tell them how to do it, right,
Yeah, Carl,
Kyle?
Yeah, I could. Yeah. I could take the brunt of it.
all
I could
right,
take the
take the
brunt
brunt.
of that.
Take the brunt.
I noticed it's a controversial topic, so we have people older than me watching. They probably don't believe in two women, one man, or
No, we ain't talking about that. I talking about the kiss.
you talking about
Before
the
we get to
kiss?
that, yeah, they say,
Someone
"Who-
asks how do you kiss? So
how do we kiss? You want that? You want to take that one?
No, you got to kiss one at a time. You can't. You got to kiss one at a time.
no, no, no. They want me to say how. Teach them how to kiss.
No, you can't. Do they
Okay.
mean kiss all at one time? That can't work.
No, they
I
mean
mean,
no. What I
people
can
is
explain.
trying.
Let me explain. Let me explain. Let me,
uh,
First they say, I think they want me to do it. Okay. Now let me tell you what. When you kiss a woman, as a man
all right.
kissing, there's a few things women don't like. Women don't like sloppy kiss. That's what they tell me.
Okay.
Some might, but majority don't like sloppy kiss.
Right.
And 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 some don't like their tongue to be pulled long.
Right.
Right. So if they want me to teach them how to kiss, let me teach them. They gotta come on the show first of all, so I kiss them. But anyhow, no, let me mess around. No,
Uh,
that's okay. All right. I can solve this right now. So it is lips to lips, and most times the man will empower the woman lips by letting his lips goes on top of her lips, and then with the action of rubbing the lower lips, sometimes to the top of the lip, will soft that not never the lips touch the teeth in the mouth. So you get because it's like an accent having the teeth hit one another, and so the kiss. Melanie, you want to finish this? Why are you looking at this guy? All right.
I
I
learned
just
it.
training people.
I
And
learned it.
Uh,
so once the man control the motion, the woman will follow. It's like an art and like an answering call. And so most times a woman will not kiss a man in a relationship because a man can't kiss. But when they find a man who could kiss, they'll kiss him every day. And so I can put this to close. If they want me to go deeper into that, then they got to come on the show, and then I can demonstrate it. So, but since I can't demonstrate, so my closure to that is that's the way you kiss. So the man has to control. It's more a lip. The more you don't have to pull the tongue too long because it's you want the answer and call. Now the answer's call is back and forth. Back and forth is a combination, and a kiss, and you make sure the tongue don't waver. The contact with
Carl, you get any improvement on that?
the
Can you
contact
get
with the
it?
tongue. So you got
he
tongue contact with you as the man. Anyway, that's my 5 cents. I'm moving on.
Okay,
You got
Carl,
anything to say,
Carl,
Melanie?
now that you have
agreed.
explained it, Carl could go from the
Yeah,
youthful
Kyle, you can go for
perspective.
it if you want to go further.
No, yeah, I was about to add on and say he break it down like a science, but uh, I think what he's saying kind of true in my experience. The man leads, but
Mhm.
sometimes the woman leads too.
That's a
It all
mess.
depends. It all depends on who initiates the kiss. It depends on
Woman,
who initiates the kiss.
woman just use the lips. So woman contact with the lips to make the
Yeah,
kiss.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but the
yeah.
man control it. The man in control is a chaos.
Right, right. I yeah, yeah. I can see
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
the
yeah.
power,
I can see that.
the power of the tongue. Ling, 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 bang.
But I don't think it needed to be broken down like a science like that.
But,
Just
but
say
that's it. They
that.
ask me, I tell them. See,
Oh,
Clearly,
oh, okay,
clearly
okay.
that person wanted some
They
little
probably wanted
specific.
some tips.
yeah,
Yeah.
so they got
Okay,
the tips. They got the
yeah,
tips. Yeah, let the man control the lips. The man put it on top of the lips. When the woman put inside, it's too much. Woman, too much motion. You gotta let the man control it,
right,
and it
right.
work
Okay,
well.
yeah,
Go
yeah.
ahead, Melanie. Now go ahead. You got something to say? I know you're laughing.
Well, you know, it's like dancing. Kissing is like dancing,
There you
right?
go.
When you're in the mood, you give a certain rhythm depending on what song playing. So all
Mm-mm.
you have to do is live in the moment and be present and follow the flow.
That's old school.
That
That's.
is natural. That's allowing nature to take its course.
You ever hear somebody say to you, "I like kissing, but I can't find a man who could really kiss good." You never hear people say that,
A lot of girls will say that.
Mel? All right
I
then.
haven't,
So it's
I
possible
haven't.
too. So you
Hmm?
never heard it? You never heard
Mm-mm.
it? You never. But you see, you live in the house, so that's a whole different school. You try to, you try to books and paper and pen is your friend. That's where you. That's what you need. You need to be outside where the real people is. You know.
Mm.
Yeah. You got to see. Rich people pay for everything. Poor people have a hustle for everything.
So they got to hustle for a kiss whilst the rich people pay for one?
Yeah. So a woman run to a man because he got money, she gladly give him a kiss. A poor dude, he gotta hustle for that. You gotta work hard. You gotta bring flowers. You gotta go buy a lick. You gotta, in some cases, he gotta wash a car, and he gotta For weeks and weeks, he got to prove he loves her because she just saying, this poor dude, I can make him wait for this. But the rich dude, she run him in because she hoping that she get in that pocket right today. That's true story there. You ain't got to believe it. We talking about what? Two man,
One man, two women.
one man, two woman.
Is it possible
Well,
for
Carl, you young. So when I finish, I can let you take the lead in this today.
Hmm.
So the people can beat you up.
Yeah, okay.
And then I can say, because you're young, you're all messing around, young people. But I can say this. Let's look at reality. All the hullabaloo about man bad, man this and man that. That's nonsense. Because if you go by statistics, let's put it worldwide. I was gonna say Bahamas. Let's put it worldwide. Women will say men are schemers, that they saints, they don't do nothing, but man bad. That's what they say. Reality today, majority of women are living the world of one man to two women. That's what we're doing today. Because if you're sweethearting, that's the same thing, right? It's the same thing.
the difference
I mean,
is that there it is being done on the sly.
mhm.
Only the one, well, sometimes only the other woman know that there is a main woman, but the main woman is always kept in the dark. So when you talk about one man, two women, you basically talking about the man having the balls to say to his main woman, I have another person and I love the two of you. How many men are brave enough without being disrespectful? Because you have some men who literally, when they finish with their main woman, they treat her like a dirty piece of rag. And they're out there having a whale of a time with the other woman. But we're talking about having a respectful relationship with two women simultaneously.
Women love men to lie to them. If you speak the truth to a woman, hold on. I can give you and Carl chance to joke. I can even sit down and let you all two by it. If you speak the truth to a woman, you say, I have my sweetie, they will go crazy and they will act fool. But you know what? Most times, they ain't gonna leave. That will give them the window to go fooling around. They ain't gonna leave if you tell them that they ain't gonna believe you. Because they know you lie all the time, so they ain't believe you. But you know what is interesting? You know what is interesting? Go biblical. They will tell you, oh no, the Bible's, one woman, this and that. But the Bible, if you look in the Bible, all the other fellas in the Bible had concubines, eh? Right, so we talking about the Bible, we gotta be honest. A lot of us not honest. And some men are not tailored to have one woman. Most men are not tailored to have one woman because they come from a background of sweethearting. They also the African heritage where they have multiple women. They they and if you allow them to have two women, they will be more happier. They might not have to lie no more. Carl, I leave the show to you now. Go on.
Uh there's a philosophical approach to this that I could probably simplify it for the
Go ahead.
viewers watching. Uh, what you I'm gonna start off with the African perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before I want to say before religion,
Okay.
before society had adopted uh, the Christian way of life, right? Polygamy was much more a part of normal human life. So when, let's just say, civilizations started to adopt the Christian way of life, which means the calendar, which means Catholicism and all of that stuff, monogamy became the, I want to say, the respected way to live. And so when you look at modern civilization and when you look at monogamy, monogamy was deemed the only way to live, which means that polygamy is illegal, polygamy is looked down upon, and all that stuff. So I want to say after the 20th century, monogamy became the only respectable way to live in society. So anybody born, say, in the 1900s to now, the only way they know how to live is have one wife, one husband.
Mhm.
But when you look at humanity's history before I want to say before modern civilization, having more than one spouse was common. And
Mhm.
so I want to bring it back down to us as Black people, as Caribbean people. I want to bring that back down.
Okay.
In in slavery times, the man was chosen to. The man was the prize. When I
Mhm.
say that, the slave was the one who, okay, we're going to use him to m- make us some offspring here in this family. So he's going to have a family here. Then when he gets sent to another plantation, he's going to make another family there.
Mhm.
So essentially, it's in our DNA to have as much offspring as possible,
Mhm.
which is the reason why back in the day, the men used to have a wife and then they used to have outside family here, outside family there, outside, because it was passed down. Now, because monogamy was legal and polygamy was illegal, the men had to do this secretly. So they had to have outside family here, outside family there, but they couldn't be open about it. And so in our as Black men, we have carried this trauma or this way of living, so to speak, from generation to generation. You notice your dad had two sweethearts, one wife, two sweethearts. Your granddaddy had one wife, four outside family. Sometimes they had like 15, 16 children, 20 something children. All of them wasn't from the same woman. And so uh the reason why Bahamian men are so focused on having more than one woman is because it's passed down from generation to generation.
Mhm.
And so it's interesting that people don't look at it from that sort of way. Yes, cheating is bad, but psychologically, a Bahamian man does not want to have one woman. A Bahamian man wants to have more than one woman. That's the truth. You could ask any man him if the person he married, right? Ask him if that's the person he actually wanted to marry. And most Bahamian men would say no. They would rather have the person that they married is the person that they probably say, oh, this woman makes sense. This woman has a head on her shoulders. She takes care. So I can marry her. But over time, they have been they have been heartbroken by some woman that they was in love with and they can't access her no more. And so they found the next woman. And so this is the type of things that Bahamian men are dealing with. Now, I'm not condoning cheating or having sweetheart or anything like that. But a lot of people don't
Mhm.
actually look at the psychological effects of the trauma that Bahamian men specifically, because we could talk about Black men in general,
Yeah.
or we could talk about men in general.
Men in general. Mhm.
Men in general have this issue.
Yeah.
But you see more of it in Black men. You see,
Yes.
you see the effects of it in Caribbean and Black men. And
Yeah.
so that's the angle, that's the psychological perspective. So a lot of men want to have two women. They want to have more than one, but they are not allowed to, or they are looked down upon for doing so because society says you could only have one wife.
Mm.
And so that's the angle that a lot of people miss. But really and truly, what men should do is instead of having a wife and a sweetheart, they should just be open about it and say, look, because women, as long as women getting taken care of and they and you giving them money, that they don't really care. They
Well,
don't.
but they will tell you a lie. They'll tell you that's a lie. They love.
Yes.
They tell you they love from their heart, and they ain't
Right.
want no. They ain't want no Adam. It's only me. It don't. And you know, in society, it's almost impossible because you look around. You know that's not happening.
No.
Most men today are having two women.
Right.
That's
Right.
the. And let me give you the other side of it. It's worse than that. Most women are having two men,
Yeah.
Mr. Fix It and Mr. Finance Man. In some cases, some of the women are having three,
Right.
you know. And so, but
I,
they want, see,
I,
every time, so I'm gonna get you now, every time a man scheme, he have to scheme with a woman. A
right.
man can't scheme it by himself. So when a woman tell you this, they lying. They actually lying because the minute you turn your back,
Hmm.
watch watch the words. He never was no good.
Okay.
And then the little ghetto gals who be around the bar, the first thing they gonna say, why they were the next man, he got small things. He can't grind. They come with all these little stupid stories. Man, he broke. He did. But they never take the understand that they were the problem. And when you have how should I put this? The decent woman. Okay, let me see if I could call the decent woman who go to the church, who goes to praise worship. She loved the Lord and she's trying to stay straight on the straight road, but struggling with this married man. She don't see that as no. She don't see that as scheming. She don't see that as having involved with two because she only do it now and then, so it ain't no big deal. But in the Bahamas today, man, I can let you go right now. I know you got something to say. I know you're gonna say something. But in the Bahamas today, if you ain't joining that crew, you ain't saying nothing. You know that, right?
Which crew is this?
You gotta be, if you ain't sharing and balling and partying with the two,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
you
Uh,
ain't something wrong with you. I
I I
God,
I kind of okay. So a couple of things, right? When a woman has more than one man, she's not willing to give up sex as compared to a man. So I find that often when a woman says she has one man for this, one man for that, one man for this, right? She's not going to want to give all of them sex.
no, she not
That's the difference between a man and a
a
woman,
man and a woman. Yeah,
right? The man, he's going to want to have sex with all of them, or all the women.
yeah.
Um, but a woman, she has one that she likes the most, which she's willing to do, but she's not going to want to give every man her body.
Mhm.
And I find that that is a slight difference. And also, I think we talked about this before. Married women, when they cheat, um, they are actually they don't care about their husband no more. And so the man that they're cheating with is filling that void. You know what I mean?
But they ain't gonna leave the husband.
They ain't
See?
but they're not gonna leave the husband. No.
Right.
Now the thing is though, it's very hard for a woman to love two men at the same time. I have to say that because I feel like I've seen that a lot. It's very hard for a woman to give herself emotionally to more than one man. Whereas a man can kind of different he can kind of give his emotions to more than one woman or give his time or energy. I feel like a woman finds it harder to do that with more than one man. And so those are the slight differences. But there are some rare cases where you have some. I'm talking about like in a general sense. But I don't know if Mel want to go or Daddy want to.
I definitely do want to go because um I agree with you, Kyle, that women, because of the depth of their love, okay, they may be there and be friends with multiple men, but in all honesty, it's really only one man that she really gives her heart to at a time. I wouldn't say that she would move from one that where the relationship is not working and fall in love with another, but she normally would just give her love to the one man. Now, she may lead the other man on to believe
Right.
that she's in love with them. Okay?
Yeah.
A man, I think, is pretty much the same way.
Right.
That's why men who stay with their wives in spite of all that may not be going right and they take on somebody on the outside, that is because he is in love with that woman. Okay?
Right.
Now, the lion that Tony mentioned, this is where we are really looking at. Is it truly possible, okay, for a woman to accept being in a relationship openly with another man, or as they now have this new term, as a sister wife, where the man has both her and another woman and they both know and are okay with it. See, this garbage with sneaking here and there and lying, that don't serve nobody any good. Okay? Men want more than one woman, but they are afraid to lose the one that they love because the one that they love is not open to
It's not open
him
to right.
having a second woman
Second woman.
openly and knowingly.
You gotta have two people who want to be in a polygamous relationship. So you can't if you
Three.
go three
The
right.
three of them have to be to it, open
The
to it.
three of them have to be open to it. So if
Mhm.
if you have a monogamous partner, a partner who wants to be monogamous, but you're trying to force them into a polygamous thing, it's not going to work. And so a lot of men are not willing to actually look for a woman that is interested in them.
And truly, the question is, why does a man want to be with more than one woman? Why? Can one woman not satisfy him?
That's hold on now. Hold on. Now, see, hold on. Let me sort this. Right, let you talk, right? So hold on. I can straighten two things up for you. Let's go back what you said a while ago, and I want you to answer me. Do you think there's married people in the Bahamas? Who's sweetheart?
But sweetheart,
No, no, I'm asking you a question. You're
of
going down
course,
that road.
the
You're going down. Answer my
90,
question. Answer my question. I talk to you. So for the people out there,
99.999% of people in the Bahamas that are married or even in a long-standing relationship are having extra relations in their
Melanie,
relationship.
Melanie, in this Bahamas, there is people who's married, who wife caught them. Listen to me. Caught them. And they are still, the wife, no, he still goes around the corner. And the wife still in the house, still there,
Hmm.
still being the wife, still cooking, still doing what she, all the way. So when she does that, that's polygamy.
Yes, but
Because she knows.
but but
No, no, that's
but
what it is.
but
So it's the
is
same thing.
she, listen to this though, listen to this. The
Are you
difference
listening?
is that she has consented. There has been an agreement, a mutual understanding
When
between
she
her and her husband that he has
when
this
she caught
other.
him, when she caught him,
She
when she
caught
caught
him,
him, and
which
she
is
stuck with
different.
him afterwards, and she stayed there, that's polygamy. She agreed because she didn't go. So that means she agreed from that point on. She might agree at the beginning, but she agreed from that point on because she's still there. I still love my husband. I ain't leaving my husband. I ain't letting the woman come take my husband. So she now know he going around the corner. She knows what he's doing. So she now agreed.
So she accept. She ain't
Yes.
agree, but she accepted
So if
because
you
that
accept
is
something, you if you accept something, that's what you're
no,
doing.
no, that you accept it because you have weighed the balance and determined that, like you said, I am not going to walk away from my marriage because my husband is actively engaged in a relationship with someone else.
And the reason why he's engaging is because there's something broke down, or there's something fester in before it happened, the marriage happened, is something. Now, Carl is
Not
the
only
expert. Carl is the expert on that part. But I'm saying to you, I'm saying to you, when you see this happen to marriages, and when you see men having two women, for a man, Carl is a man, for a man, they really don't want to do this, They really don't want to do this, but they have no choice. It's called survival. And that's where it come from.
Kyle?
I
Anybody hit the show up so
okay.
you could answer
So
them? Mel?
No,
so
everyone only send greeting. Carol say this deep.
Carl, go
so
ahead.
yeah, Dad. I can't. It's a little deep,
Yeah.
but you are actually correct. Men. I could go from a scientific perspective. Let me go from a
Mhm.
scientific perspective. Men are biologically inclined to have as much children as possible. That is that is in our instinct of survival. That is the truth. Now, subconsciously, right? Subconsciously is not something that it's voluntary. But if a woman is not fit anymore to carry our children, we will look for another candidate. Now, that is a scientific look at it. That's a
Okay.
scientific perspective of it.
Hmm.
But it's all based on survival. A man, and this is very controversial. I know people are gonna, I know
Yeah.
people, this is controversial. But a man cannot have one partner his whole lifetime. That's impossible. I know people think that I know it's controversial,
Hmm.
but in terms of survival, a man wants to a man has the instinct of survival built in him. Now, I could talk about the woman's side of it, but the man's side of it is there is a reason why a man can impregnate as much women as possible at one time. And a lot of people have not actually looked at it from a scientific perspective. You can have as much children as you can possibly in your lifetime. Now, when you decide to say that I'm going to get married, and you make those commitments and you make those vows and you go before God and you go before the law and the court and say, this is my wife, right? That's different. Now now it depends on your honor and your commitment as a man to your wife and to God to say, look, I'm going to stay committed in this marriage. But a man, or let me say humans in general, have the survival, have the instinct of survival. So in the man's lifetime, it is very difficult for him to be committed to one partner. That is very controversial. I know it's controversial, but it is built in us to have as much children as possible. Now, I say that to say this, right? On the woman's side, a woman, it's very difficult for a woman to have more than one partner. Um, when I say difficult, I mean that you're carrying a child for 9 months. So only one man can get you pregnant for 9 months. Then, after that cycle is over, you have to go through a healing process, and then you can, and then a woman only has 40 eggs. I mean, well, it depends. I'm not,
No,
now,
no.
now, Mel, you
Sorry,
could
guys.
correct me. You could correct me,
Man, I got 40 eggs.
but,
I love
but
it. I
this
love
is
it. Cool.
No, 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 guys. We got millions. We got millions.
Million. They got
okay.
Plus
millions.
40
So,
billion.
They got millions.
hold on. Now, sorry. Now, okay. So
Sorry, there was a dip in
now, a woman can only get pregnant for 9 months, right? Then she goes through the healing process.
Yeah.
So it's not a guarantee that she would be able to have. How do I put this? It's much more easier for a woman to get attached to a man that she has sex with. Now, I don't, but the biological, there is a biological difference. And at the same time, I feel as though that it is interesting when we look at um, the differences in terms of when we talk about polygamy, because there are differences. And so, in a general sense, I feel like men are more open to it and women are not because of those biological differences.
Okay,
Go,
Kyle.
Mel.
When we first started 5 years ago, Tony and I went into a lot of the polyandry,
Oh, you went
polygamy,
into
and
some
all
deep
of
stuff.
that. And there were historical documentation where women had multiple husbands. Now, I got you as far as procreation is concerned, men have the upper hand because, yes, the woman cannot have multiple pregnancies that start at different intervals at the same time, whilst a man could have 100 women pregnant
One time.
all at once,
All in
right?
one setting. Pa, pa, pa.
Um, I think that the limitations and the frustrations and the controversy around how many wives or how many partners a woman could have versus how many a man could have is really grounded in the patriarchal system versus um, what is feasibly possible. Um, we love, we know hundreds of people within our circle, and we love all of them on different levels. Okay, we're not intimate with all of them. We don't wish to have children with all of them, but we could coexist because the science and the schools of thought basically is saying that it is unfair. One man cannot satisfy the multiple needs of a woman, nor can one woman satisfy the multiple needs of a man. So when we look at it, the restrictions that are imposed on us, where even in marriages, men who have social conversations with other women in the presence of their wives, it's a fight when they get home, vice versa. And it's like we are social beings. I'm not having sex with every man that I encounter, but there are men who mentally stimulate me, who visually, just like how men are visually stimulated and mentally stimulated, so are women. So we need to stop putting ourselves in boxes and literally live for the survival of the species, live in peace and harmony because we own nothing other than ourselves.
Well said, Mel. That's Mel. You read that, eh? Well said, man. I mean, that's where you been. You better look at it.
Yeah.
But let's go back to this now, Mel. We did a whole study on this type of thing about 5 years ago, where we were studying this.
Mhm.
And you know what was shocking, and still shocking today? People still lying to themselves, and people are still lying. There's people on this planet who have multiple partners. There's people on this planet who have, like we say, two partners. There's people on this planet who are married and still have the girlfriend that they had from high school. And so the only thing that stopped this thing from going on or not being public is because the Christian principle, where we come from a
But
Christian background where they teach one woman, the Bible,
you know,
one
you know,
woman,
you
one man.
you talk about the Christian principle all the time, but
Mm.
Christian and the church don't enforce law. Polygamy is a legal violation.
Yeah,
You
it
It
could
is.
be
is.
Yeah.
imprisoned.
It is.
So that's when they hide behind the church, but the restrictions that are
Mhm,
placed on the
mhm,
freedom of
mhm.
individuals. Kyle went as far back as slavery, right?
Yeah, even slavery. Yeah.
Whose idea? 'Cause when you look at the Bible, in all honesty, when you look at the Bible, there is nothing that basically say, except for, therefore shall a man leave his mother and his father
That is.
and cling to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh.
Mhm.
But look at the author of the book in which that is found. How many wives? How many concubines?
It was there. And so we beaten men today because they are moving around. But you know what? Before we close our show, you know what I will say? I will say society causes this problem. And in society, we need to fix the problem. Because I will say
We're too busy
one
beating up on
man,
judging.
one man, one woman is probably the best way to go because you mightn't have all these other problems. But if you in your heart,
But guess what?
with, wait,
Hold
mhm,
on. Sorry,
right?
I have to inject
I
right
know you're gonna
there.
check, inject.
You say
Carl, you can
one
just
man,
have this.
one woman, and
Mhm.
then you won't have that problem. But Kyle, isn't the problem stemming from the fact that the one man ain't pleased with the one woman and the one woman ain't seeking to please the one man?
Yeah.
That's where the
Yeah,
problem starts.
yeah,
So
majority of
if
problem.
if it
But
is
I
the
tell you
best
what,
way to go, it means
it means that you're a woman
it
that
means
accept when the man tell you the truth. When he asks you, he says, "Well, you
no,
seeing
the
something?
woman have
You
to
no, no,
the
no, no, no,
man
no, hold on.
and the woman,
You're in
the
woman.
man and the woman, if you wanted to be one on one, if you wanted to be one on one, then step up to the plate and fulfill your role.
Hmm. Yeah, but if you
And
want to
then the
have two,
problems will be over.
if you want to have two, so that means from day one, you have to tell the woman, hold on now, I am a guy like I have somebody else and this, and bring them along and bring two together. That might create a lot of problem solve. That might solve a lot of problems because when I was younger, Lord help me, when I was younger, I used to say it's enough to go around. so so come, I got hey, why not? So,
Yeah,
but
but I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that because you was
yeah,
you
so
was in a relationship.
right. So when I was
But
young, I was in
basically, he wasn't married, but he was in multiple relationships.
Oh well, okay.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, I
yeah.
don't know.
But why? Like I used to say, sister, why you carrying on? You got enough to go around. You got yours. But here's the problem. Here's the problem. We lie too much. We hide things we see for, and we make the sister believe it's only us. And so the sister now, she built all her motion. You know they can move in all this motion. They build all this motion, and they remember I say last week something about your heart, and you go believe it in your heart, and everything get hurt is your heart. So you better don't fall in love with your heart, because that ain't making no sense. Because people can break that. That's the way it operates. Because you using your heart, that's all emotion, and you can get hurt. So you might just love by action. What you give me, I give you. And that's the way it go. So Kyle, what I'm saying, we gotta close. Give me your last take on this so we can close.
My last take is I I I I truly feel as though there's no reason for polygamy to be illegal, but I have my own theory on that. Um, I feel as though humans. There's nothing. By the way, there's nothing wrong with monogamy. There's nothing wrong with having one husband and one wife and being
Absolutely
one.
not.
Nothing wrong with that. So I don't want people to
But
be
it
like,
should
oh,
be a choice.
But I
It should be
believe
a human choice.
humans. Yes, I should be. I think there should be a choice. I don't think there's any reason for polygamy to be illegal or to have one. I feel as though that they probably have it illegal because they don't want the household to amass so much wealth. That's my own theory. Um, and I know that's a deep one because if you have
That's a theory that is shared by others too, Kyle.
yes, because think about it. If you have, you could imagine if you have a doctor, a lawyer, a thingamandison, all living in one house, all contributing to one house. That's you know what I mean. Instead of having one man, one
I
wife,
think
and then
it will actually enrich.
yes, it would. It's very interesting. But anyway, that's a different topic. That's a
Mel,
different
Yeah.
topic. But
Mel, anybody
Because
got answer?
I I with you on that. No, everyone is just having their emojis and but
They're having a great
I
old time.
agree with you, Kyle. I agree with you. And it will cut out all the lying, all the
yeah,
sickness that people are suffering because the man pushed them aside and they find somebody younger. There are people, who are literally just staying because they believe, oh, the Bible say I only could have one husband or I only could have one wife, and everybody trying to control the next one, and everybody crying and carrying on and having heartache and all that kind of stuff. It's like, love yourself, okay?
that's what I be
And
preaching. That's what I be preaching. Like the people's
love
be putting
yourself.
too much of their self in another human. I just don't understand it. There's no way you could. There's no way anybody can make me not eat and not sleep. Ain't no way. Ain't no one can make me not eat. I mean, I know people is go through that, but it's no way you could compare losing somebody to a death of a loved one or a heartbreak to. That's to me. You putting too much of yourself into the other person. You have to love yourself. So whereas you know that if your heart is let's say your heart is broken or you're upset, you're able to bounce back and you're able to still be yourself. I can't let another person cause me to be depressed and I can't, that's just me. I know people different, but it's just I don't understand heartbreak, but I that's my 2 cents. You know,
Well, we're ending, but Carol has placed something that we should take into consideration. What I see in her comment is literally a juxtaposition where it confuses the whole issue because if a man is married to someone and he has a woman that he's been in a relationship with, for the same amount of years, okay?
Hmm.
And he may be moving between two houses, okay? Common law. She's saying that it is the law of the land, but it's rooted in biblical law, since hence polygamy is illegal. Now that is twisted.
Um,
Well,
uh, I
one
actually
part,
agree with that. I agree with that
I
because
God, okay.
most of our laws are based off of Christian principles,
Biblical.
even
Mhm,
biblical.
mhm.
Right, right. And so that's another reason why I think it is illegal. Um, to along with the theory that I proposed, but that's another reason why I also think it's illegal. And also, it's very controversial. It's controversial. We Bahamians were not raised to think that you can have two wife and two husband, and so we probably will never see that come to light. But I have this thing where I believe if you open that up and Bahamians become more used to or accustomed to that, you wouldn't have cheating. You wouldn't have as much sweetheart. That's just my thing. You wouldn't have you have people are free to kind of like they're not restricted by that boundary.
Kyle,
So I
Kyle,
don't.
Go ahead.
our time is gone, but let me say this.
Hmm.
When you look at the way the Bahamian family structure is laid out, you have children who are carrying one man name but has no connection to that man. Why?
Mhm.
Because from time immemorial, the man has been jumping in and out of different doors, and the women have
Yeah,
just sat silently, got pregnant, gave birth, and whoever, say when you throw the rock in the pen, whoever get hit, they squeal. So whoever the
right,
woman decide to choose, say, "Oh, this your child," the child is given that name, but the child is not necessarily the man's child. Why? Because men have always had the freedom of polygamy without being accountable for
right,
their polygamous actions.
right.
Well, I could say this. My 5 cents is that you got a lot of men who was married for 20 years and they sweetheart for 19. In a lot of cases, I know them right now. And so
Mhm.
it's happening
And
every day. Go on, man.
Yeah.
Go on, man.
and every year both women is having a child, and then they
Hmm.
pick up a third one, and the third one start having children, and they pick
And
up a
children have
fourth
some
one, and the
children,
fourth one start
and
having children.
you would be surprised to know how much people, mothers, were side women. You'd be
Yeah.
surprised
Mm,
how much bastard children grow up in Bahamas. They don't know who their daddy is. They don't know it. And so,
we
like
got,
I say, it is a major problem. It's a
yeah,
major
it's a
problem
problem.
in Bahamas.
It's
Yeah,
a problem. So that's why I say a man and woman needs to be honest and just come up and say, hey, listen, this is the woman I date. This is a woman. I like you. I like you to be a part of me, but I have a mind or I whatever. And be honest and like bring them
But
two together and
you
sit them
see,
down so we
again,
don't have the hurt and pain. And Mel,
right.
again,
I
they
think
are
that's what
walking. Yeah,
mhm,
they're walking on the side of the law. The law says one woman, one man,
my mom. Yeah.
and everybody living in misery as a result of it.
Mm.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I gonna say this, Kyle. I can let you say, but I can say this: man juice, woman juice, six of dozen, the same damn thing. Kyle, go ahead, close. Get your last say so you close the show.
Yeah, my whole thing is I am for monogamy and I am for polygamy. I'm for, I think both are good options.
Mhm.
I think there are good marriages out there. I think there are people who are loyal.
Uh-huh.
So I don't want people to think that I I against monogamy. Like no, I want both. If people
Hey, that's the
if
young
people
people. Kill him, son.
yeah
But
if
the
this
thing is this, what
if it's yeah if
yeah,
it's just
kind is
option.
about
It's
freedom.
option.
freedom
Right.
of choice.
Freedom of choice.
But
That's
whatever your choice is, live with it and
live with
stop
the choice.
lying.
Right. And if you
But
are in a committed marriage, then you stay committed.
okay,
Point
And
blank.
what I have
if
in my
you
hand,
feel
sorry, what I have in my
and
hand,
what you go
some
ahead.
what I have in my hand, sorry, somebody hit me up, right? Uh, and has nothing to do with this show, but this is what they want us take on next. My daughter came home from college, and she said to me, "Mommy, I like women." So I guess what I try to say. Could you please discuss this for me? So that's the next topic. Now. Okay. So
What is it?
Uh,
my daughter came home from college and said that she loved women. So that's our next topic for next week, I guess.
The cutting edge. We'll
uh,
get in a lot of trouble here, right?
I
I
tell
tell
you.
you.
And people will form their opinions of you. But at the
Right.
end of the day, I personally believe that we are being robbed of the purpose for which we came to this earth. Okay? The we perpetuate slavery of a new form by enslaving ourselves mentally by the things that is expected of us by society. Let me tell you
Mhm.
something. God is real and God don't play, but a lot of the things that people are saying is of God are not of God, and a lot of the things that they're saying are not of God is absolutely because everything that is of him. Okay? The thing that I feel is not of him is when we harm others intentionally.
Well, Carl, Mel, we gotta come to the end of our show. We beat this a horse and tell it dead. But I tell you what, we have made good strides in this, and we bring conscious to the light. And if we have to take it on again another time in another show, we have to take it on because a lot of people gonna disagree with us.
A lot
Hmm.
of people can disagree with what I say. I
Yeah,
really do, but
but I
honestly,
believe
But that is
one
their perception, and
yeah,
you can't fault them for it.
right,
no,
and
right,
but that's the point of the show. The point of the show to have a discussion.
right.
Things in life. That's we ain't agree. We all ain't agree on the show, but that's the way it is, and that's the way it should be. We should be able to discuss it, and we might disagree, but we discuss it and we learn from what we discuss, and that's the
Yep,
key.
and we want to thank those who joined us alive.
Mhm.
I see Alexandria McCrae out of Florida, Miami, and then of course Carol, who has given us quite a few comments. Thank you so
Mhm.
much.
Mhm.
And those of you that will view us after the show has ended but is posted on Facebook and YouTube.
YouTube,
Yeah.
YouTube, and so and those who don't like to say anything but hiding and watching, so we say hello to them. We say hello to the people in Texas. Shirley, oh, hold on, let me start. Not name. What's the name again? All right, anyway, you don't worry about that. Believe that. And then the people in Florida, Joni and those, and then the people in Princess,
Freeport.
um, in Freeport.
Mm.
Ah, Sophie
Sophie
Choice
Church.
in Texas. I
Yeah,
want to
we
say hello
want
to all of them.
to good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been watching us. They right there watching it behind the ground, and so we know they're there because they hit us up, and so we
Okay.
appreciate it, and we appreciate it a lot that they spend time. But I don't know. We'll try next week. The woman say, what we supposed to do next week when
The daughter who's came home and say she loved women.
say she love women?
Mhm.
Oh Jesus Lord! Now let me give a story before I go back to
Controversial.
that show. I don't believe in foolishness, but well, that's what we take on. Because
Choices, freedom of choice, to each his own.
I believe your daughter ain't got no choice if she under 16. So, and if she over six, what you mean? And what you mean? Why you look at me like that? I say, ain't no girl under 16 come on go tell me she like woman.
Oh, under 16, eh? Oh,
Yeah,
okay, all
I'll
right.
cut her hip. I'll
I
cut her hip
mean,
into
they fall
16.
bad until they turn 17, 16.
I'll cut her
Okay,
hip into 16. So
okay.
we can take that on because that's some deep stuff. Because um God made us a certain way, and I don't care what mental thing going on in your head. Carl, you're a psychologist. I don't care what mental thing going on in your head. There's no reason for you to love a woman. A woman is too beautiful. You know how much men love women? You know, when men see a woman, how you go? So
Okay.
how? All right, that's another bit. We
Kyle,
gotta close.
Kyle,
We gotta close.
as we close, Kyle, did you do human sexuality whilst doing your studies in
Yeah, yeah, I
psychology?
did. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay, good. We got a good show coming up then.
We
Yeah,
got a
yeah.
good show. Well, you know where I.
Human sexuality.
Well, at least
Mhm.
y'all know too. Y'all too. You'll know where I stand.
Well,
If
and
use my
we
child,
respect that.
listen to words I use. If use my child, I'll beat this sissiness out of you.
Yeah.
That's where I stand.
Right. All right.
So, so
That's like
that
to,
could be
to
interesting.
that's like beating the black off of somebody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
End of the
'Cause
show.
no
yeah.
matter how
So
much
you
times
know,
you're
so you
not
know that could
women.
be a hot show next week, right?
All right.
Because you know y'all two got a total different opinion on that. A child don't have a voice.
Take care. That's where the problem is in the world. Their
Well, we'll
voice
give it
has
that
been
next week.
taken.
With
All right.
it's under the tree. Mel and Tony Very meet every Sunday, 3 o'clock
With
under
Kyle.
the tree. Kyle, I appreciate you.
Mhm.
Everybody have a good day. Enjoy. Next Sunday, see you right here.